Introduction to Climate Change. Part 1. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in global temperatures and weather patterns over decades. Earth's climate has always varied naturally, but since the Industrial Revolution, human activities have caused unprecedented, rapid planet heating. We're now witnessing warmer average temperatures worldwide. The past decade was the hottest on record. Oceans are warming and sea levels are rising. Arctic sea ice is also declining. We're also seeing more extreme weather due to all this excess heat. Hurricanes are getting stronger. Droughts, floods and wildfires are becoming more intense and frequent. Climate change doesn't mean every place gets warmer. Some regions experience cooling in the short term, but the overall trend is steadily upward on a global scale. These changes impact ecosystems, agriculture, economies, human health and survival. It's an urgent crisis requiring action across countries, industries and individuals to curb emissions and adapt to new realities. But science is clear. Human activity has warmed the planet by 1 degree Celsius. But if we act now to transition to clean energy and sustainable practices, we can still limit future warming and its catastrophic impacts. The root cause of climate change comes down to one thing: greenhouse gases released by human activities. Fossil fuel combustion is the primary culprit, burning coal, oil and natural gas to generate electricity. Manufacturing, industry and deforestation also produce enormous amounts of planet-warming gases. Intensive agriculture and meat production emits methane, another potent greenhouse gas. Transportation through planes, ships, petrol and diesel guzzling cars. Even our overuse of energy in buildings and overconsumption in general contributes to the problem. The result is a thickening blanket of emissions that acts like a greenhouse, causing average global temperatures to rise steadily. A solution must therefore address these human-caused emissions at their source: power, manufacturing, transport, food systems and more. Transitioning rapidly to renewable energy, electric transport, sustainable farming and reduced waste is critical to reaching carbon neutrality and stopping climate change. It's a massive undertaking, but an ethical obligation if we hope to leave a habitable planet for future generations. Now let's dig deeper into the impact climate change is having. Climate change is already transforming life on Earth and threatening human civilization. As greenhouse gases trap more heat, global average temperatures continue to rise. The past decade was the hottest on record. This warming leads to more extreme weather events like destructive storms, floods, droughts and heat waves. Rising temperatures also cause sea levels to rise as ice sheets and glaciers melt. This endangers coastal cities and small island nations. A hotter world harms biodiversity and ecosystems. Thousands of species risk extinction. Ocean acidification threatens marine life. Water cycles are disrupted, decreasing freshwater availability for drinking, farming and industry. Crop failures will likely cause food shortages. Higher temperatures allow disease vectors like mosquitoes to spread farther, increasing the risks of illnesses like malaria. Deadly heat waves will grow more common. Climate change is a threat multiplier, exacerbating poverty, conflict and migration. Urgent action is needed to mitigate and adapt to the changes ahead. We can still start a course to preserve a cleaner climate by transitioning to renewable energy and sustainable practices. But why should we care? Climate change possesses a profound moral dilemma. Those least responsible often suffer the most. Historically, wealthy industrialized nations have produced the lion's share of emissions. However, vulnerable developing regions feel the harshest climate impacts first. Small island states face losing their homelands to rising seas. Rural communities contend with crippling droughts and famines. They contributed little to the problem. Climate change magnifies global inequality. Developed nations powered growth through unfettered emissions. Now, poorer countries pay the price. Their citizens facing displacement and death. As a crisis multiplier, climate change worsens poverty, conflict, and migration. Upholding justice means providing significant support so disadvantaged regions can adapt. But real leadership means top emitters like the US, Europe, and China own responsibility. We must rapidly transition energy, transport, food, and consumption to be sustainable. It's a human rights issue. Those least culpable cannot be sacrificed in the name of progress. We must collaborate to ensure a livable climate for all people across all nations. We must tackle this crisis together as one human family. The right thing to do is help each other through the hardships ahead. If humanity cooperates, a livable climate future is still within reach. But we must act now.